Good morning. Shabbat Shalom, I assume. So, it was a lovely night. This is the new construction, much cleaner in this table and a lot of stuff here. But before we continue with the music, probably the same songs from before. I mean, I might change a little bit just because, you can't listen to the same thing again and again. Of course, it should be stated, again, I said it many times, but I understand that now people care a little bit more. So maybe, important things should be said. If I look I aim my gaze at like a group of soldiers, like for example, of an album vinyl, like album cover, or so, like a single, LP single, like גבעת חלפון העונה, או מתוק מתוק, או גבעת התחמושת. It means every soldier in the world. The Cubes, I said it many times, they do not understand, differentiate between nations. They do differentiate between where I am, like where do I stay, and other places. And they will try other places, not where I stay, for reasons that I've spoken about many times in the past. But, if they decided, to destroy all fighter airplanes, they will do it all around the globe. The same with uranium or whatever else. If they decide to, they only work in flashes, in the poker term. They flash the flash, like only in sets. If it's something that needs to be removed, it's removed all over the globe. You should understand it. Of course, I cannot get out of the room, to the kitchen without the nice, Shabak cell, humiliating me in any possible way. And I must say, you might find it very small or minor, because I'm subjected to such a terror all my life. My body is literally full of trillions of microbes that people placed in me intentionally. Again, I don't need the culture to get microbes. Every sample that I take is full of these, even though there are many types. And actually, I didn't hold the video with regards to the different kind of life forms and different humanoids, mainly because I don't know, I had other things to do, but maybe I'll do it. If you actually need it. If not, maybe we can postpone it. If it's not really that important and you have other things on your head, and you should have other things, mainly destruction of Israel. But I don't need to create culture to see if I have infected with germs. Any drop of semen, blood, whatever that I have contains a ton of it. I have trillions of them in my body, because that's what the Israelis are doing to me, and they still hate me to the fact that I can't get out without being humiliated. And you never get used to it. That's what they want you to be, the Israelis, and also the Americans, to get used to humiliated, but you don't. And each such humiliation is something that the world will pay because it means a lot. So now, I had 4 bottles, you see these, wrapped in aluminum, 1.5 liter of pee of myself that I stored, with a little bit of salt, baking soda, just for all sorts of purposes. I wanted to conduct, to see, for preservation, and I had also see theories. Never mind. After this humiliation, I decided. It's mostly. You should understand. These things are they worse like the world to you, not to me. This is my pee. It's only. The fact that I produce it, it only make my life miserable. And people hunt me for this. But yes, it could have saved the life of many people, because this is the most valuable medicine that you can dream of, and many of you have things that cannot be solved anyway, especially those that have the worms in their body, or the bacteria, the train bacteria, or things like that. This can Probably, I mean, what was thrown now could have saved the life of many, many people, but I mean, I will not be humiliated. But this should not be your concern, because this was not enriched material, it was raw material, like, I mean, my pee. I've thrown, like, it should be said that, I mean, during this stay in this apartment, I've thrown, I mean, maybe not so much, but I mean, also, I mean, in accumulation, like, close to 6 liters, like now, but maybe a little less, but of enriched material, which means material like you've seen in the microscopic examination, like, I mean, like from the things, I mean, comparable to what you've seen in the last previous 3 slides, which means tremendously more, like, I mean, of the yellow neros that are, I mean, and this was just thrown because it was, I didn't have place for that, because, I mean, sometimes I kind of like, I rearrange the containers and there is trash, and this is a very small room, so I need to throw things, so I throw it to the sand, not, you know, so people will not be able to actually get it, like, I mean, only maybe the cats, like, literal cats can like lick it, I don't know, but it's important, I mean, that the cell will not get anything, because otherwise there will be my handles forever, and I spoke about it a lot in the past. I would say it again and again, the Israelis, like the Shabak, the Mossad, their problem is not addiction to tea. They have in this room amount of tea that never existed in the history of Israel. Even, like, I mean, including the times when people actually ate titans, like, I mean, like buffalo, the whole thing, like cannibalized on them without any remorse or shame. But they don't want it. They want to win. They are addicted to the ego, not to the tea, to the ego. The addiction is to the ego, not to the tea. The tea is perhaps secondary addiction, if at all. The main addiction, and it's epidemic, like all around the country, is the addiction to the ego. Addiction to Satan. This is evident too. It's not kind of like, I mean, Christian theology, evangelist, whatever. No, it's a fact. It's a fact. They do not want the tea. They have here more than they can ever dream of. They can, what they have in this room can clean them of all their diseases. Like, I mean, all the people in Israel can be cleaned of all their diseases, and still there will be tremendous amount left for other countries as well. They do not want it. They want me to be their slave. They are not addicted to the tea, even though it's highly addictive material and humans should not consume it at all. They are addicted to the ego. They are addicted to Satan. This is reality in front of your eyes. The day after tomorrow, I need to appear in court again for yet another hearing regarding my arrest. I had so many of those during the last year. I don't even remember why am I here? I mean, nobody actually remembers why am I even here. But I mean, again and again and again, trials and hearing. And it should be said that, I mean, after my initial arrest, I was arrested again. And after I was trapped by the cell in Rishon LeZion, and that was, the purpose of this arrest was to take my containers from me, especially one big one, like what I call the Horadri cube. It's not a cube, actually, it's like a metal box, big box. Not as big as you've seen now, and not, I mean, as enriched as what you see now, because I didn't have the knowledge, but still, very, very valuable, that was stolen from me, because when you were arrested, I mean, people can take everything from you, and I mean, you know, I mean, you can speak with anybody, I mean, you know, you maybe get a phone after, sometimes only after a couple of days. I mean, it's very harsh. Like, arrest house in Israel are not nice. At least not the ones that I've been in, and I've been in several already because I'm such a criminal. So the purpose was to take this thing from me, because they understood that I actually managed to enrich. It was like, I mean, it was all of that was documented. I mean, you can see in various like videos that I uploaded to YouTube. Like, I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, it's a very large cookie box, like round with 3 empty, of course, tuna, like, I mean, cans, like that, a little bit, and with each like 3, I mean, like aluminum candles, but all of it is like, I mean, filled with all sorts of stuff, but mostly a liquid that is enriched neros, and this is something that, I mean, was very valuable, and I was arrested in order for it to be stolen from me, and what I have now in this closet, in this cabinet, is much more valuable, and the day after tomorrow, I might be arrested again. Like, you know, I don't know what they expect me in court. I don't know what, I mean, they always want me to participate in theater that I don't really understand. Like, why do you want me to lie, to say that I'm not who I am? I mean, but I am who I am. But I mean, what do you want? Why is it so important that I will lie to you? I don't even know. I don't even remember how to lie. I'm addicted to truth. I don't know what to say. So maybe they'll throw me to jail again. Just to say, before I get out of here, the day after tomorrow, I'll make certain that no container is this is all mine. It will all go to the sand. All of it. All of it. No, it will not get to the hands of these pirates. No. I can create more of this. I can create more. I know how to make it. I prepared it. I documented it, and I remember everything. I can create much more. I don't need nothing besides, very, very basic stuff, because I use only basic stuff for these purposes. Basic material, also material for the ecosystem pass, and basic transformers, and other kind of basic electricity gadgets. Things very cheap and simple, and and very cheap fuels for the crucible. I'll do it again if needed, but this will not get to the hands of the pirates. So before I leave tomorrow, not tomorrow, the day after that, I'll make sure that nothing stays here. This is mine, and why shouldn't, I can do whatever I want with it, including throwing it to the cats, and that's what actually will happen. This is not exactly the tea. This is much more valuable than the tea. It's not the same robots. They are considerably more advanced and complicated and valuable, and this was proven many times. And the best kind of proof is my own existence, because they multiply in my body. This is not true for the tea. The tea is multiplied in the female titan body only when the male tea is present. Something that was widely known in Israel for many decades, and I speak about it a lot in this channel. This was a tenet of the way that of the titan subjugation throughout many years in Israel. That's why they needed the males. It was known to be so. In that generation, it was somehow forgotten, and I speak about it a lot in this channel. But the people of Israel knew. For many decades, it was they used it was like a farm. They make sure that the males and the females never have sex, and even do not have contact after the initial but I described it a lot in the Bicycle Saga, the Black Knights. This was very cruel, but they understood the basic biology. The red tea cannot multiply in the body of females without the presence of the brown one. But in my body, the yellow one are, again, it's color codes. They aren't really. It's not real colors. They multiply all the time, and my existence is a proof of that, because I do not get any other source of tea. I never ate nobody ever gave me tea from any other source in my life. Should be stated. And of course, there are tons of other evidence in this channel. The yellow is much more valuable than the tea, and also, as you've seen, it's much it's tremendous quantity, and probably I didn't get very good answer to what's the normal size that from the body of females, but I assume it's much smaller, but perhaps it's even smaller than I assume. Perhaps it's actually tiny compared to what you have here. No, you will not get it for free, and you will not get. I'm not going to give you another incentive to incarcerate me again. The oratory cube, and this is all documented. It's not mythological. It's not really a cube. Again, I just call it the oratory cube because it's a reference to something. But it's like a cookie box, pretty big, and contain. And I documented how I created it. And this was the pretext for my arrest, so they can steal it, the cell around me. I'm not going to give this cell or any other cell another pretext for that. No. I will throw everything. Value, material of tremendous value to humans that can, heal you from diseases that, many of you have and cannot be healed any other way, will be thrown. So I will not be arrested again. It's already happened many times, and it's documented in this channel. It's not science fiction or empty threats. You've seen in this channel. You've seen me taking microscopic examination from trash containers. In one video, so you will not think it's edited. I've seen like I created examination with with the iPhone. The video you've seen it's full of neros, and you've seen me throwing it out, like walk out like to the sand outside and throw it out of the Goose hostel. There are several videos that like that. From the last couple of months. So it already happened and it will happen again because I do not want to give any excuse for these people to arrest me again. This is totalitarian state. There will never be justice. You need to stop. Completely stop. All over the world, any kind of movement of mouths and tongues. You are betraying your people. This is the highest kind of betrayal. Betrayal of leaders, of rulers. They betray their people. Speaking now, certainly speaking with the Israelis or with the Americans, but speaking with anybody now is a betrayal of your people. Your people wants you to do the maximum effort so they will survive. Speaking is the highest kind of betrayal as a civil servant. You need to move arms and legs. Completely silent. Not a word should be uttered. Arms and legs against the Nazis. Arms and legs against the Nazis. Arms and legs against the Nazis. I mentioned Germany, Britain, and France. Of course, it might be obvious, but it might not. I don't know. The principles that were raised in the video are true to any other country. You understand it, I guess. Every other country is like about to be decimated by the radiation and the Full Metal Jacket and the other problems. And every country that I actually visited, by the way, I think I forgot to mention Spain. Spain was also a place that I actually visited. And in Asia, Laos and Cambodia, in addition to Thailand. Every such place, most certainly they are part of the conspiracy and they paid money to Israel so they will be able to torture me. So these places are in a much worse situation than Germany and France and maybe also Britain. Again, I have a question. Like Iran and Britain, I'm not sure. So your situation is even worse. Just if you didn't understand it, I just put it bluntly. Every place that I actually visited is in a much worse condition from the point of view of the cherubs. And also there is the issue of the Arab states that I didn't visit because actually it's not really possible. It's very difficult. There are also problems because after the service, you need like cool off time before you can go to these places. But anyway, regarding the Arab states, I should say that I've said it many times. The fact that they fought Israel for many, many years, that doesn't mean that they didn't do business with it. And this is like a well-known secret in the Middle East, and it was always been like that. But maybe people abroad do not understand it. But it might sound ridiculous to you, but there were always relationship between Israel and the Arab states. Always. While they fought each other. This is the Middle East. We are all cousins. And part of this relationship was regarding the exchange of pedophiles. That is, well known inside NATO, but also done with the Arab states. And the exchange of slaves, of robot slaves. And there are quite a bit of titans in Arab countries right now, actually. Probably much more than Israel, because in Israel maybe I'll mention it like in the Encyclopedia of Life Forms video, but in Israel you don't really see original titans, morely hybrids, because of all sorts of historical circumstances. But there are actually much more titans in Arab countries than in Israel. And among all the Arab nations, the worst is of course Jordan. Jordan in Israel is about the same. Jordan and Israel is about the same. There aren't big difference between them, Jordan and Israel, and both are going to be the two sides of Sodom, of the biblical Sodom. the two sides of Sodom, they are about the same. The two best friends. Yes, they are very good friends, and they were like that long ago. And I'll tell you a secret, the 67 war, I mean, the Jordanian front was a hoax. Like, I mean, apropos, Givat HaTachmoshet, like the song, it's one big buffoonery. I mean, listen to the words. This is like, I mean, this is a joke. Like, it's not even a battle. It's like, I mean, a Wild West, I mean, you know, scenario between like 5 kids and 7 kids, like, I mean, with guns. But it wasn't even that. It was manufactured. And they were always like in relationship, certainly since the 60s. But this is a story for another time, and it's not that important. The important thing is that the scenes of Jordan are tremendous, and they are almost like Israel, like from our perspective. They are together. Jordan and Israel are together, which means total annihilation for Jordan. Regarding other Arab states, arms and legs, arms and legs. Arms and legs, not mouses and tongues, arms and legs. Arms and legs.